Hello YouTube, sorry it's been a while. I've been very busy setting up the new studio, which is lovely, and you can see the delightful wall of it behind me. Also, sadly, since the last video, my favourite acoustic guitar has died a very sad death, so that's terribly sad. But instead today I'm going to be playing folk on a Gibson SG, so it's not all bad. What we looked at in the last video was how you can work out which chords you can back a major Irish tune with. It doesn't apply to minor ones, but we'll cover those in a bit. Today what we're going to be looking at is how you can make those three chords which you had in the last video a little bit more interesting by the use of related minors. So in the last video I told you that there's some rules, and we're going to add a few more rules today. The ones we said was, I said you had to start the sections with the key chord, I said you had to finish the sections with the key chord. I said it made the sections sound nice and finish if you went from chord 5 back to chord 1 at the end, and you pretty much always will be doing that. And I also said that any time where you're playing chord 1 which isn't the end of a section, you can actually swap it to chord 4 if you fancy it, and it will work fine. There's also a few other things you can swap it to, and this is what we're going to do today. And working out when to swap between them is what will make your backing a bit more interesting. So yeah, let's crack on. A related minor chord is a chord which is made out of the same notes as the major chord you're playing, but it's a different chord. What that means is, for example, D has a related minor chord which is B minor 7. You can just play a B minor and it sounds absolutely fine, so don't worry too much about that. So here is a D chord, here is a B minor chord, and because they're made up of a lot of the same notes, you can basically swap them whenever you fancy. You've still got to satisfy the rules that we discussed in the first video, so you've still got to end the section on the key chord. That's very important, because otherwise the section won't sound finished. And to make it sound finished, you go from chord 5 back to the key chord at the end. That's just standard practice really, you'll always be doing that. However, if you want to start a section on a different chord, you can start it on the related minor of the key chord. So let's say we were playing D major, you could start the B part on a B minor, and it would make it sound more interesting, and it would fit totally fine with the notes of the tune. That's always nice if you're getting bored of playing D, G and A, D, G and A, D, G and A, change it to B minor, G, A, and then go back to D, G and A, and that will make it a little bit more interesting. I'll give you a quick demo of that. Oh. Sorry. So that's just D, G and A, and here it is with B minor, G and A. So you can hear just swapping the D for a B minor from time to time. It keeps your listeners interested. Now, the way you work out a related minor chord is it's the chord, if your starting chord you think of as chord 1, chord 6 will be its related minor. So for D, we'll go D, E, F, G, A, B, and B minor is its related minor. So the other thing you can do is you can swap chord 4 for its related minor as well, and that will make it more interesting as well. So in the key of D major, chord 4, as we said previously, is a G. So you'd go G, A, B, C, D, E. And lo and behold, E minor is G's related minor. The other way you could think of this is you could go backwards 3. It doesn't matter which way around you look at it. So you could go G, F, E. Oh, it's E minor. So it's either 6 forward or 3 backwards, depending on which way you prefer. But I find it much easier to count upwards rather than count downwards and backwards through the alphabet, which is just confusing. Cool. So here's an example of that. I'm going to whistle the same little A part of that tune, First I'm going to play it with D, G and A, then I'm going to play it with B minor, G and A, so that's D's related minor standard, and then I'm going to play it with D, E minor and A, because what I've done there is to swap chord 4 out for its related minor, and then I'm going to play it once more with B minor, E minor and A major, and that'll show you the choices you've got. There you go, so you can see I played different chords every time through that, and it kept it interesting, and all I did was to swap out some of the chords for their related minors. Now you may be thinking there's another chord in this, which is chord 5 of course. You only really use chord 5 at the end of the section to lead back to the key chord right for the very end of the section. You can, of course chord 5 has a related minor as well. A major's related minor is F sharp minor. The reason that I haven't used that is because obviously you've got to put chord 5 at the end to lead back into chord 1, and chord 5's related minor doesn't work the same. It doesn't lead back into chord 1 as nicely, and it just sounds doesn't sound half as finished as so don't swap chord 5 for its related minor where you normally use it. You can use an F sharp minor in here. This is the last thing I'm going to be saying in this video. Don't want to confuse you too much. You can use an F sharp minor because it's a chord which will work with the notes of the tune in that key. The time I would use that is rather than swapping out an A major for it. It sounds really nice if you change from a B minor down to an F sharp minor. So that's changing from D's related minor down to chord 1's related minor down to chord 5's related minor. That sounds good. And then you can do that and then go from chord 5 back to chord 1 at the end to make it sound finished. So I'll give you a demo of that with the tune. It would sound like this. Yeah, it sounds pretty good, and yeah, it's okay, like, theoretically. So yeah, just remember that you can basically, as long as you've still got the rules, which is that you end the sections on the root chord, and you do that by going from chord 5 back to chord 1, that's totally fine. Any time where you'd normally be playing chord 1, which isn't the end of the section, you can swap to chord 4 if you like. And also, any time where you'd be playing chord 1 or chord 4, you can swap to either of you can swap to the related minor of whichever chord you would be playing. Alright, that's the end of this particular video. I hope you got something out of it, if it was useful to you. The next one's going to be about how to back Irish minor tunes, or Scottish minor tunes, or English or Welsh minor tunes. They're all pretty much the same. But yeah, and also after that we're going to be having a look at how to strum other sorts of tunes like polkas and slipjigs and so on. Like, comment, subscribe. There's also a free lesson for anyone who likes the Facebook page. Please, if you have enjoyed this video, do like my Facebook page because it would help me out no end. It's just type in Finale Guitar Studio, Finale. If you are in the Sheffield area and you'd like a lesson in any style of guitar, the first one's free if you like the Facebook page. And I do lessons via Skype as well if you're not lucky enough to live in this wonderful area. But yeah, hopefully anyway I will hear from you soon. And like, comment, subscribe. And also I've set up a new project at the moment, which is the Finale Production Studio, in which we're teaching dance music production, DJing, recording techniques and things like that as well. So it's all kind of in the pipeline at the moment. It's a bit of a side project with a few other people. We've got some big names involved. And yeah, so if you are interested in anything that side of the electronic music world, have a look at Finale Production as well. There's a link to it from the Finale Guitar page, and there will be a website up sometime next week as well for more information. So yeah, give me a message or whatever and I'll keep you posted. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye bye.